One stupid freak play away from. Oh! He hurt both my running backs, Tamon. That made no damn sense. I know he's got to look at my team and be like, how the hell am I going to keep up with him? He's got a bunch of 90.
And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Washington Redskins. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout.
I got one completed pass and he paused it.
And that means your offense has to keep pace.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. A give to Jones. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. For a lot of people, MVP award means the quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
He brought that safety down, and what do you think?
As his guys are in for 6, and the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Yeah, my defense is a frustrating defense for anyone to go up against. Chopper's 8-4. Couple forced wins gone wrong, huh?
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, look over the middle, and he's got Perriman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And that one results in 35 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56.
To throw on second down. Tanner, this one complete to Jordan Reed. And he gets it down to the 32. His first catch, good for 9 in the first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
He runs the same plays everybody else runs in this game.
Set. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit. Detroit. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Leopard. Leopard. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Looking to throw. Tanner, and that is caught by the tight end Reed. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Forbath, the extra point, and we are tied at 7.
Montgomery Wards.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Nicholas.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Watson now to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer.
I feel like pulling the plug,
staff takes a peek. We'll take a break. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That one goes for 24 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
So they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try the air now with Watson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They run it here with Thompson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Thompson. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. To throw from his end zone. Tanner looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. Then he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offensive coordinator and said, he's yours from now on.
And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. In for the score. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Come on.
And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there. They've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw. A free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
The dangerous Hill now to return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession now.
And this one is incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
To throw on 3rd down, Tanner. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
It's 21-7 on that one.
Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A big run there by Jones. 51 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some damage.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. And his kick is good. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From what I just
this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Redskins now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
He only has 82 yards now.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
On the tackle, it was Dane Cruikshank.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Is that the TV or is that your kids?
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Geis with the carry on second down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a third down. From the gun, Tanner. It's brought in by Dodson. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
I was supposed to start
used to
singing my
the guy that you
song.
consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you
I need to be able to make my
read,
chest
right?
go in and out.
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
On first down, Tanner. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
After the interception, here's Watson. Looking left side, and it's complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game, and the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Extra point safely through, and the route is on here in this first half.
You know he's going to go to the car and cry, right?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
Say it again?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still on it. And got his man complete. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Rashawn Perriman, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Here's Watson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll pitch it out to Jones. Spins by. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Every play
that one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. On 2nd down, here's Watson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is caught One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he's into the...
He's paused it. It's 41-14. He paused it again. He just can't figure out why my tight end is balling. This is not a competitive match, homie. A ranked game. You can't just concede. Here's what he looks like. He looks like he's got his thumb over the exit game button.
Zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown.
Let's see. You see shit in the chat room?
Pass for Deshaun Watson, his 5th of the afternoon. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
They'll run with Thompson. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field.
So well, you already know the amount of frustration he's got through his veins right now. Thompson.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
So now he's down to Geis.
Gone! Hurry up, here we go!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Tanner. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
So,
ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
My linebacker, defensive tackle.
On 1st down, Watson. His throw incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you get the ball 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 10 now from the 35. Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
I picked those,
and this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Shower, you got to keep your hygiene up, man. You think I don't take a shower when I don't go to work? Yes, I do. Thank you, sir. You and your skinny jeans. Did he say something in the chat room? Because it's taking him a while to go. Nah, he didn't say anything.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Off play action. Tanner. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And now here is another interception. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Pretty shifty footwork, but didn't buy him much. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On second down, it's Jones. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Throwing again, Tanner. A deep ball for Dotson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 38. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
He's trying to force some passes in there. He's trying to force some passes.
Tiger. Richmond. Check. Crunch.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. And his throw is incomplete. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
He's sitting in the coverage too so bad. His defensive linemen are dropping
the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Style.
The give is to Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Give the tackle there to Josh Norman. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And this Buccaneer offense is running away with this one.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it. That can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. To throw on second down, Tanner. Looking left sideline, incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson, and it's 3rd and 5. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make it.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Oh, wide open, complete. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. And even 60 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Reset.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. They'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
To me, that's a terrific run on 1st and goal at the 3. They got 2 yards. I I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
He's going to get it running right. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones taking it in. And the Bucs offense continuing to pour it on.
And while no one on the offensive line will get the 6 points next to their name, they should be credited with this one. Tremendous blocking to get the runner into the end zone.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Here we go again. Skipping. I don't anticipate.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Redskins. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to go for a big play, and that's caught inside the 35. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. 45 yards. On 1st and 10, Tanner. And now here's another interception. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it, Kurt Coleman?
Yeah, that's right.
I see what the Falcons mean by this. Turn on the accelerate clock.
That's correct.
59-14. I got the ball back again.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Watson on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And they try the sweep to Jones. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis.
But it was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
Richmond.
Bring that safety down. Bring him down.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. From the red zone now, Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They go back to the ground with Jones. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Come back, come back. Tiger.
Here's Watson now on second down. Flush to his right. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They come out here in the eye. Here's Jones. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. Well, they knew who to turn to on 4th down. Their horse, they needed the short yardage. He just couldn't get it.
And that's a surprise because normally that's bread and butter for them, right? Hand it to the big guy, let him go, pick up the first down. Didn't get it there. All credit to the defense. Usually, even if they know he's coming, he can't be stopped. And they got it done on that play.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Move.
To throw from his end zone. Tanner, he's going to look deep for Perriman. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that.
My rookie has a PCL sprain. Guard.
Incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Gone. All right, now, look at 56. Look at...
They'll throw again from their own end zone. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. It's going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
Yeah, this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Again, it's Jones. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Now the toss to Jones, running right. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Watson. Flushed out right. Looking downfield for Godwin. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Preston Smith, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. On third down, that's Jones. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Off the play fake, Tanner. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. If you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who get 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
A spin, and now running right through it. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Jones. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. On 4th down, Watson. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Dirk Cutter's guys go for it, but come up empty. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Detroit! 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 Back 99 Philly, here we go!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Tanner. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
On 1st down, this is Geis. And a broken tackle could not free him. Taken down right at the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Forced out to his left. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Hill. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
He letting the clock run down now. It's 4th and goal.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
I'm going to a Tampa 2. I'm going to get him with this, too. I got the
here just playing for pride at this point. Down big, but they'll go for it on 4th and goal. They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side. Steps away, and he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, Doug. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Back to throw. Tanner, he's going to let it fly. And now here is another interception. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line.
Just take Tanner out the game. Just take Tanner out. Minute and 35. You done threw 5 picks. Come on, take him out. And the sad thing was he threw to the wrong goddamn receiver. The one on the right was fucking naked.
And we now have a new single-game interception king, a record-breaking 5th pick there.
If that's not the true definition of a ball hawk, I don't know what is. That is absolutely phenomenal. What comes to mind quickly, partner, is one of the more recent ones to get to 4. D'Angelo Hall, a terrific player in his own right, but in this case, 5. That sets a brand new NFL record.
Come back, come back.
And Watson's going to throw it here. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Come back, come back.
Watson to throw on second down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. So they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They've been burned twice already on fourth down, but the third time's the charm as they keep the drive moving. On 1st and 10, Watson eluding the pressure right. Looking downfield for Joe. It's caught at the 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches, don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again.
And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. The Redskins on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is third down and 12.
Over. Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Tanner. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Dane Cruikshank. We'll start the fourth quarter with that deficit. Had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Throwing now, Watson. Buying time to his left. Looking downfield for Jones.
Dang.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball.
Said 52-14 at half. Yeah, it was.
They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bucs, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Washington, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos.
He didn't say shit.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gauden. You've
Yeah,
been
this
watching
game was
the
fun.
NFL
He said, I see you out there
on
having
EA
fun.
Sports.
Yeah, I was having a lot of fun with him, man. At the same time, now I gotta go check and see where I sit in the stat calendar.